Okay, Torrin Harris did not practice. George Farmer did not practice. Andre Hadari did a few things, didn't do everything. And Robert Woods did not do very much at all. So obviously we hope to have everybody there, especially with Robert and George, because obviously they changed a lot of plans on special teams and offense, and with Andre. So we're having kicker tryouts here. We asked anybody if they kicked in high school. So we'll find out here shortly how that went.
You expect Robert to play?
I hope so. Obviously he's critical to us. Guys had a great year. 7 games and whatever. I think only three or four people have had more catches in the season at USC. So it's saying a lot about what he's done, and he helps us too in the return game as well.
He was limited today? Is that how you're...
Yeah, he barely did anything. He just, for whatever reason, he had it. Yesterday he did some more stuff. The day before he didn't do anything. So he's just kind of going back and forth.
You talked early in the season about, if I recall correctly, like giving him Thursdays. Managing him in a way that he wasn't going to do stuff anyway. You intend to stick to that? Do you think you have to stick to that as you get through the season?
Well, we like to do that when he's had 2 really good days. When he's had 2 full Tuesdays and Wednesdays where we wear him out and then pull back on him. But when he's only really had 1 day, you don't want to do that. So we wish he would have went today. Especially, because we didn't. Today was, so much red zone stuff we hadn't done yet, with the normal week. The 2 weeks before this, we've had extra practice time.
Coming off one of your strongest running performances of the season, how important is this to get that game going against Stanford this weekend?
Very critical, for 2 reasons. One, because they're a great rush they're a great pass rush defense, with whatever 25, 27 sacks. And then number 2, because their quarterback's great, so you got to find a way to run the ball and keep them off the field. So it'll be a very critical part of this game.
Wayne, how much stress does Stanford put on the safeties, particularly the strong safety with the play action and the 3 tight ends that they had?
Yeah, I think what's really unique about what they do is they put a lot of pressure on all 4 DBs in the run game. Usually you got wide receivers outside, but this is a team that goes goal line sometimes in the middle of the field, so all your corners and safeties have to work on their fits and be able to tackle at the line of scrimmage, which is unusual. It's like playing goal line defense. And then the difference is down there, you don't worry much about play action. Out here, you got to worry about play action because they got the whole length of the field. So it's very unique, to have to prepare for. They do a great job of giving you issues.
Is that more stuff? Is that the kind of stuff you would see occasionally in the NFL, but you don't see in college, or is it just?
I don't think anybody's. This is just abnormal. The 6, 7, 8 offensive linemen in the middle of the field on 1st and 10. They've started the game, the first play of the game, on their own -20. With no receivers in the game. So I don't think anybody's ever done that, at least in probably 50 years.
What was the attitude like from the players here in practice this week, considering you have Stanford Saturday?
I think it was good. I don't think it had anything to do with Stanford. I think our guys are focused and have done a good job the last couple weeks of preparing and going out and executing really well. And this is just their next challenge to come back home and do it.
Do you consider Isaiah Wiley like a true freshman just because he came in this year, and then Lamar Dawson, are they ready to take on a guy like Luck?
Well, we're going to find out. With Isaiah, playing most of the game, and Lamar's going to play a lot, so they're going to have to step up and play. And that's really the theme of our program. We've guys stepping up regardless of their age. And so we've done a little bit more of it on offense and defense this year. And it's going to show up Saturday on defense.
Is your tackling been in the secondary been where you think it needs to be for this game?
I think since the bye it has. We struggled in the Arizona State game especially. And the last 2 games have improved. And then last week was our best tackling in our secondary and our back end by far of the year.
I'm sorry if you covered this early, but how do you think Hadari's looking? Do you feel confident in him for Saturday?
Not really. We just had a walk-on kicker trial, or anybody. We asked anybody, if they'd kicked in high school. And of course, John Harris was the first one to raise his hand. And we're not going to do that. So it'll be a game-time decision.
Can you talk about McNeil, how far he's come since he's been here, being in the doghouse and having a big game last week?
Yeah, Scott, it's really, to see that the last couple weeks, what he's done. He didn't start, but he went in there and just seized his opportunity. Didn't sit around and complain. Practiced extremely hard. Had a great camp. And then only, there were a couple games where he didn't carry the ball very much, but just kept working, and it was great to see.